Welcome back. In 2024, South Africa's township economy was estimated to contribute more than 600 billion rand to the country's GDP. With this, Takealot has launched a township economy initiative that aims to further grow and empower township-based SMMEs and entrepreneurs. Tshepo Marumule, Head of External Affairs and Public Policy at Takealot, joins us now. Thank you so much for your time, Tshepo. We are constantly being told, and there are, of course, valid stats that tell us that small businesses are the backbone of the economy. But now we're drilling specifically into the township businesses. Lay the table on the potential that Takealot sees in the township economy and its runway for growth.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you today. I think this good starting point for us is always around our purpose, which is about changing lives in South Africa for the better through e-commerce. We believe that e-commerce has the power to become the ultimate equalizer in that it breaks down a lot of the barriers to entry for many, many small businesses. And we believe that it has the potential to help us bridge the multiple divides that are part of our history. As a country. The Takealot Township Economy Initiative really represents a big shift in how the business sees its ability to contribute. Our ecosystem is largely designed to lift as it rises, and our participation in the township environment allows us to recognize that majority of the population of South Africans are sitting in and live in townships. The Takealot Township Economy Initiative seeks to create economic value where people live and play. That way, people do not need to spend as much money as they do on transport to be able to get the things that they love and need the most. That is quite important to us. What is also important is that by laying down the Takealot ecosystem, we are embedding and introducing a critical infrastructure that enables and supports small businesses to thrive and to grow.
Well, it's quite interesting because now we're drilling into e-commerce, and actually that's something not a lot of us think about when we think of the township economy. In what phase of growth is the township e-commerce ecosystem?
Look, e-commerce broadly is quite nascent in the South African market. In the townships, it's even much more. Penetration of e-commerce in South Africa's township is currently sitting at about 2%. And e-commerce penetration in the overall South African economy is currently sitting at between 6 and 7%. So you can imagine that we are still really at the very, very early stages of that cycle. And so by introducing the Takealot ecosystem at this early stage, it enables us to ensure that we stimulate small business development such that the uptake and the growth of e-commerce grows with those small businesses. In other words, growth doesn't come and happen in the township, but growth is driven in the township and can be driven outwards, leveraging the power of technology and the power of the Takealot ecosystem.
I hear that it's also giving a kind of narrative of building the plane while flying it. What inroads has Takealot made in support of the township economy?
Yeah, look, we've made some significant growth. We currently have developed over 600 drivers across different townships within Gauteng that are onboarded and are driving for the Takealot business. We have currently around 150 young people in a driver development program in Alexandra. We have onboarded over 200 SMMEs from Gauteng, who are local brands, local manufacturers that are creating jobs in different parts of Gauteng and Mpumalanga, because we've launched the program in both provinces. We've got over 3,000 personal shoppers that are currently on the platform that are shopping as a function of the support that they're given through this initiative. And now we also have we have partnered with a company called Loction Auctions, and they run auctions in townships, and that's part of what we are supporting them, leveraging some of our return stock on the Takealot platform to activate Loction Auctions in the townships as a mechanism of e-commerce. And so what brings us together today is the exciting rollout of township franchisees, where we are now for 5 franchisees in Tembisa, in Mamelodi, in Soshanguve, in Carltonville, and in Vosloorus.
What does that entail, actually, the franchisee development program?
Yeah, so the franchisee development program is essentially one of the biggest components that drives the township, the Takealot model itself.
Yeah.
So underpinning it are fundamental commercials. It's a purely commercial endeavor that ensures that we create sustainable economic value in the township. In essence, it's about putting in logistics infrastructure in the township environment that facilitates last mile delivery. So all the last mile delivery drivers will be contracted through that franchisee. And that franchisee will then ensure that all consumers within those townships receive their parcel same day, next day, at their convenience. But also that we are able to build a network of take-alot pickup points that can be leveraged by township consumers to get their products at their convenience. More importantly, in addition to meeting the needs of the consumers, these franchisees will also support the township manufacturers with their goods and enabling their goods to reach the market much more quicker, much more efficiently, reducing their costs and reducing the amount of time they spend transporting their goods from where they are made to where they are sold. And so with this franchisee logistics infrastructure, we will be enabling local manufacturers to reach the market much sooner.
I'm also wondering if there are any specific criteria that SMMEs in the township need to fulfill for to be able to participate and benefit from the support programs that Takealot offers.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's always criteria. The biggest aspect of our criteria really is they have to come from those townships. I think it's an important criteria because if we are serious about ensuring that we drive economic value created in the townships, leverage their own social capital to drive the economic value in a sustainable manner. That's the biggest component. And of course, then experience in running businesses or experience in professional environments will be quite important. Formal qualifications present an added advantage, but are not a prerequisite, as well as obviously capital. We support them with subsidizing a component of that capital, but it's important that the township entrepreneurs, to the extent that all of us can agree, this is not a this is not a CSI endeavor. This is an economic endeavor, it's a business entrepreneurship endeavor, and it's important for the small businesses to have their skin in the game if we are to make sure that all interests of all the different participants remain aligned.
Well, we do have to wrap up the conversation there, Tshepo, but thank you so much for your insights and really just speaking to how big business is also playing its part to help small businesses, and particularly in the township economy. And really interestingly here, just to boost that runway for growth for e-commerce in the townships. That was Tshepo Marumule, Head of External Affairs and Public Policy at Takealot.